Good morning, Jacob. It is Tuesday, January 27th. So, being how it's show week, I really had not much to record. However, I did interview my director. Alright, so I'm with Molly Hoefflin. This is the lovely director of Dinner à la Morte. So, Molly, this is your show, this is your baby. What can you tell us about it?
Well, this is something that I've been a part of for a very long time. My mother actually started in 1987. It was a script that was written by Vince Williams, actually, and it was written on what was called around the progressive dinners, and it was around what was used to be known as the Riot House. And in the basement of the Riot House was a bar called Hog Ryan's, and the gentleman that was revamping the Riot House wanted a murder mystery centered around that. And so a group of friends got together, theater friends, and kind of hashed out like what would be the people that would be at this dinner party and what would happen. And then the script was kind of written around the types, and they're all stereotypes, so they're larger than life. And it's around 1929, the day before the stock market crashed. I believe October 28th. Anyway, so it's a wonderful time in history because so many things were going on. You had jazz, you had bootleg liquor, prohibition was going on. You had a huge amount of immigrants still coming into the United States, and so there was so much of types and styles and stereotypes. So you've got your Irish stereotype, and you have your wonderful the girl from the wrong side of the tracks that sings stereotype, kind of cheap floozy. Then you have the woman who crawled up the ranks in a man's world, secretary, and you have the thug, you have the guy who was a jockey and lost all of his hopes and dreams because of somebody And what's really great about it is that there's no limit to what you can do, and everybody who I've been fortunate enough to be a part of in a process that's literally spanned decades, has shown me just how much fun something can be time and time again, because everybody brings their own nuance and their own interpretation to their characters. I was called in 1990 as an assistant director to revamp it for what was called the progressive dinners, and they needed about 5 subs a piece per character. And it was an idea where you would go from one landmark house to another landmark house, and you would have a progressive dinner. So salad at one house, dessert at the Stout House, dinner at the Riot House. And it was a really fun thing. And then I started to perform as the characters. I started out as Dudley. And so I put some shadow on my face, and I put a hat on and did my best Cockney. And so Dudley's very fun. I love Dudley. My mother was Catherine Ryan for many years. And then what happened was, as I kept going through this, it was always something that was going on. We'd get hired out for private parties. The Spirit of Dubuque was an organization that kept us pretty much year after year after year, because they would have tours that would never have been to Dubuque before. It was new to them, and so that was kind of the glue. Every summer we would do about 14 or 15 shows, and then as I somehow ended up taking it over vicariously, a lot of odd little things, and now it's mine. We wrote a second one, and then that's been really fun because we took Tiffany and Inspector, and they're the only 2 characters from this show that went on to the day that Prohibition has been revoked. So it's been really fun. We've had a great time. I love working with ensembles that have amazing creative energies, and all I can say is it is a blast. I can see this, I can work with this time and time again, and it is always a sheer delight, because seeing what people bring, what energy and life force people bring to their characters is just it renews me. It's always such a thrill to see what people do with the magic of theater. So that's kind of the back history. But yes, my mother was Kate Ryan for many years, and as I said, I was Dudley, I was Vicky, I played the inspector once, and I was Kate. My mother she had contracted to do Nun's Sons many times as Mother Superior, and a couple shows conflicted, so I got to be Kate Ryan as well. And then I took Tiffy over when one of the founding actresses had retired. Carolyn McCoy was Tiffany Lashout, and when she had to do a couple performances, I played her. And then when she and her husband Larry McCoy retired, he was Alfred. They retired from Dubuque in kind of a roundabout way, just from everything. But they retired and went to the farm, literally. And then we took it over when Bell Tower had it for a while, and then they didn't. It was too hard to manage that and all the other things they do. So Terry Hoefflin and myself took it over. And then that's when we started to think, when people kept saying, hey, I really like that show, but you've been doing it for a long time. Do you do any other shows? And we said, we can do another show. Yeah. So we started writing. And I have to say, it's such fun because you just keep thinking about what the next step is. So it's been I've grown up with these people. They're more like real life people to me than
they're like close friends.
Yeah.
They're like family friends.
Yep. So yeah, since 1987.
Well, imagine that.
I know.
Come a long way.
I know. Isn't that crazy? A play is a special thing. A play is when you go and you get to see the magic of a story evolve in front of you. What's wonderful about this is as a dinner theater that goes on around you while you are a guest at this party, and it's very what I love about it is that you have a relationship with not only your audience, but as they are guests with you. And it is one of those experiences as a theater goer where you really get to be a part of it without having to say a line at a certain time or be called on to do something. It is interactive, but it is not invasive, and that's what I love about it, because everybody gets a name tag and they get to be Betty Don't or another fun makeup name, and then they get to come in escorted by the maitre d', introduced, oh, you're at Catherine Ryan's party, 1929, and it's one of those things where we all get to go back in time together and have a fun time with all of these nuances from the past, but also some suggestions of the here and now that probably would have gone on then. So it's a ton of fun because you're transported in a time machine, and yet you get to be yourself, and you get to be with larger than life people that take you and give you all of their magic for an evening, and it's an absolute delightful time, and I love to share that with people. I think that's why it's gone on for so long.
Well, it really is an awesome show, and people really should come see it, because for one thing, for the new people who haven't come seen it, they don't know who did it, and
that's right.
They need to find out. It's a curiosity. And
there's an oath, so nobody ever tells who did it. And I think that's the other thing. We always make sure everybody it's a secret. It's one of those things where you get to go, and it's like, I tell you, every time I see it, it's like, so it's something where you go and you have a wonderful dinner, first of all, and yet you have wonderful entertainment. So it's food for your soul and food for your body. So it's tons of fun. I have to say, every time that I get to come to UD and direct with the kids in the drama department, I am absolutely thrilled because you have a wonderful, I will say, theater department that is starting to thrive, and every time it's like the talent is upped every time I do this. So I just have to say I get to see kids push and go further and do more and more risks, take more and more initiative, and so I love to see what talent there is get cultivated, and they just rise to the occasion. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you for your time, Molly.
Thank you very much.
So people you should really come see the show if you have time and you're willing to have some dinner and a good show.
Please come. It will be wonderful. You'll have a wonderful time, and we won't kill you too hard. We promise.
All right, thank you, Molly.
Thank you, Papa.
Well, that's all I have for today. And Jacob, I'll see you tomorrow.